Hello aspirants, welcome to IS folks. We know everybody is rushing this time for mains answer writing, mains program, but this is the time for prelims exam. Why people are rushing? Because we know last year also, with the experience of last year, the time period between the prelims and mains exam has been continuously shrinking. Why? Because the prelims exam is getting postponed and there is not much time availability after that. So the time period, which used to be somewhere around 90-95 days, has been shrunken to around 70 days. Are 70 days enough to preparing for the mains, complete the syllabus, 4 GS paper, essay practicing, plus the 2 optional papers, everything? Can you complete those in 70 days? And within 70 days, you have to practice your answer writing skills also. You have to improve the time management also, how to write everything in perfect manner within those 3 hours. Is it possible to complete all those things in 70 days? Yes, it is possible, and it might not be possible. It depends on the which preparation stage you are. So it depends everything about you, where you are currently standing and what you expect within this period. So that's why the students are rushing. They feel a kind of fear that okay, if we not utilize this time now, we might not have much time later. But let me tell you, I will go through in length about various aspects, how to write mains answer properly. But 2 things I want to clear first, that analyze yourself, do your SWOT analysis first. Why? First thing is in this exam is to clear the prelims exam. If you are not comfortable with prelims exam, if you think that you are still far away from the complete preparation of the prelims exam, I will suggest don't trust for the mains or mains preparation or anything like this, because without clearing prelims, believe me, you will land nowhere. So first, if you are comfortable, if you think that you can give 45 to 50 days for mains exam and later in the 90 days, which is enough, like 3 months, and you think you can revise your syllabus properly and can compete for the prelims exam in better way, then this 45 days, which with the God grace you have got this time, or last year also. But last year, the kind of rush was like mad rush was there. People were not able to comprehend that what will happen. So there were a lot of uncertainties. So the student neither utilized that time, and which became a disaster. So you should not make this time extension as a disaster. Do your SWOT analysis, whether you lie in a bracket of well enough prepared prelims aspirant, or whether you are an aspirant who still feel that he lacks lot in the prelims. If you are the second one, then you should continue preparing for the prelims. Do a lot of tests, mock tests, revise enough, and then compete with your best appetite for the prelims. But if you think you are well prepared for the prelims and you can revise, go with the mains. Prepare what you will prepare in the mains, because this exam is not for those people who just started preparing for their exam. This is the exam who have already been preparing for 1.5 years or prior to that. So those people have already studied their lot. So now where they are lacking, they think that their answer writing practice is not enough. There might be some people who have not written one answer even. So for those people, they should utilize this time with some kind of mains answer writing, whether you join some answer writing program or you think of practicing the previous year question. It depends on you. So these are few aspects. So we will walk you through now about the mains exam perspective. There, before writing or jumping into the why mains answer writing is necessary, we will talk you about the mains exam first. So let's tune into that. Okay. So for the mains exam, we all know how much papers we get, but do we know that how much marks we need actually? We all know that okay, topper got 450 marks, or like 470 marks, some got 430 marks out of 1000 marks, which is around 45% marks. These are the marks people are getting who are among the best in the general studies paper. So there are a lot of queries. You need to understand the nature of the mains exam, why people get this kind of. Many engineering aspirant, last time we did this mains at IS folks, we were having the mains answer writing program, and lot of the aspirants were having this query. And most of them were from the engineering or medical, that kind of background. Why? They ask because they get the CGPAs, 8 CGPA 9, whether you are from IIT or NIT, it doesn't matter, you will not get it here. Even writing the best answer will not land up you in very good marks. That we have the questions like in mains exam, 10 marker questions, 15 marker questions, or sometimes 12.5 marker questions. All those questions, have you ever met any of your students who is from the typical Indian universities? Like just leave the Delhi University, they give a lot of marks. Have you talked to AMU guy or the BHU guy or the native university like the Pune University or some like Lucknow or Agra universities? Have you ever talked? No. If yes, then you know, and you are from the engineering or other background, then you must know that they struggle to get 50% marks. So those professors who are checking or evaluating your answer copies are from those typical Indian universities. In the academics, remember, there is no answer which is the best answer. There is always a scope for improvement. In engineering, mathematics, what happens? There you have a set of instructions. If your LHS is equal to RHS or whatever you want to prove is perfect, you will get enough or the stepwise marking. But here, that is not the case. You need to understand the question. You need to write the question in a systematic way. Still, some other scholar will come and answer that question in much better way than you expect. So in academics, always this happens. So no answer can be the best answer. When this condition happens, that's why always the professors give at max marks how much you will get. So in a 10 marker question, most of the time, a best answer will get 5.5, 6 at max. This is what I am saying, at max. And believe me, all your answers will not be the best. This is, I am telling you, a reality. Before jumping into the why mains answer writing or everything is necessary, you should know this. Because you should not be in a kind of dilemma though that okay, I will get this marks or this or that. Many students have this in their mind. So don't be in that kind of bracket. So believe me, 10 marker at max, when you write the best of your answer, you will get 6. 15, 7.5 or 8 at max. Or sometime if 12, then believe me. But you will not answer all of your answers. You cannot answer all of your answers in the best possible way. There will be some average answers. There will be some very good answers. There will be some below average answers also. So where it land up you? Around 40%. It levels up. So always the people, aspirants feel when we or the evaluators or the mentors give them marks and there's like 2.5 marks out of 10. They think I have written everything fine. But believe me, there is always a scope of improvement. And we always tell you that how you can improve. So those aspirants who want to know what to do in the mains answer writing, how should you proceed with the mains answer writing? So this is, as I earlier told you, those are prelims wala, they should go and prepare for their prelims. But those who are well prepared, they should start writing. Why? Less time period, 70 days between prelims and mains. If you clear, you will have trouble in your hand if you are not practicing now. How to practice? This is a very big question. Like how to question, what you should have. When you are in the first bracket, that those who already prepared, means you should have the content. What is the content? Your subject matter knowledge. You should be aware about the basic things and you must be aware about the current affairs. You should have the linkages proper, well maintained. This is not in a 50, like we are launching this Avlokan program. This is not that you will learn everything in these 50 days. You will revise things in these 50 days when you have already studied those things properly. So content is the first priority. Without content, you cannot write an answer. But we have seen a lot of aspirants are like that. They have read a lot, but they never picked a pen. They struggled a lot. So Beyond content, you also need to pick a pen and start writing. Then comes how to write. So in that questions, the first thing is what the question is. You should have the ability to comprehend the question. And this is the biggest priority in the UPSC Mains exam. Believe me, 90%, or I will say most of the time, whenever an aspirant complains that I am not getting the marks, the problem is not with the content. The problem, they have lot of content, but they are not able to comprehend properly that what was asked in this question. When you don't know what is asked in this question, definitely your content will be not properly structured. So what? Always look at the question. Pick a pen. Mark the key phrases. What has been asked? Always in a question of like the 15 mark question, there will be 2 or 3 things will be asked. Mark those things carefully. This is the ability to comprehend. This comes with the practice. When you start practicing, then only you will know that how to comprehend a question properly. So without question comprehension, this is the biggest thing or the biggest mistake an aspirant do. When they are not able to comprehend the question, you will write anything, but not what is asked. And when you write anything, this is the proper strict instruction to the those evaluators or the professors who check the UPSC question copies. They are not the UPSC, not the university copies, UPSC copies. And if you go from here to there, believe me, you are not going to get the marks. Next thing, in the comprehending of those questions, few people are a lot of worried about the comment, that keyword in the end of the question. Sometimes the question ends with a question mark. That is fine enough. But sometimes the question ends with discuss. Sometimes the question ends with comment. Critically analyze. Lot of people are worried about those things. Believe me, there are like, what is the literal meaning of discuss? Discussion happen within the one people? Is it possible? No. Discussion will always happen when the multiple views are there. So when the word discuss comes, you need to bring in the viewpoint, different viewpoint. So you need to bring in the different viewpoints regarding the discussion in the discussion period. So when the question asks you to discuss, the viewpoint should not be only yours. The viewpoint should also be of those who are not satisfied with your views. So multiple views around a topic should be put in that answer when the discuss is asked. When the comment is asked, what is the comment? A statement is given. So the meaning of comment is, it is your views during the comment, not the all across views. And you need to satisfy your views with the facts, figures, or whatever things you can do. But also in the end, you can tell about the other view also in a 1 or 2 points. That is the meaning of comment. And the critically analyzed portion. Critically analyzed portion means in discuss. Remember the discuss and critical analyze. There are 2 different questions. Discuss, you need to discuss the views, the different views. But in critically analyze, what you need to do? The different views, but the pros and cons. So the critically analyze things, evaluate in the positives and the negatives. In discuss, you need not to evaluate those things. So remember, most of the time you find this. If a question is ending with a question mark, simply you don't have to put in mind that how I should structure this answer. That will be just a straightforward thing. Explain is a straightforward thing. Elucidate is not a too much vivechana kijiye. That is a different thing. So just focus on the discuss, comment, and the next thing what I told, critical analyze. These are and most of the time you find these only, these keywords. So first thing is the question comprehension. You need to understand. How you will understand? Do you understand your syllabus? Do you understand that part? Or do you understand what have been? So whenever you see a question, focus on the keyword, discuss, comment, critically analyze. That is a different thing. Mark that if separately. Then come to the question. Mark the key phrases. Okay. These 2-3 things have been asked. immediately your mind should run from which part of the syllabus this part is. Okay, can we link this part of syllabus with the other question papers, other mains papers? Like if a question on the women comes, alright, like today we will give you the society part, society questions in the Avlokan program. Let's suppose you get a question on the woman, and that question, so you need to think about whether this question can be linked to GS3, GS2, GS4. Can the linkages will be established? If yes, fine enough. If you are not able to link, is this topic have been in the news or somewhere in the current affairs? Is it? So this processing should happen in your mind within the 30-40 seconds, because you don't have too much time. So 2-3 processes should simultaneously work when you look at a question. And this is the biggest part before writing. Don't go writing in a just you look. First process the question, comprehend the question, mark the keywords, key phrases, look at the syllabus part and connect it with the current affairs. This is your. Pick a pencil, whatever comes related to that, write down that with the pencil. Okay, immediate thing. Okay, you got some law, you got something happened in the current affairs, new guidelines came, or some Supreme Court verdict came, or some economic parameter come. Whatever comes in those 40-50 seconds, you just write it with the pencil there only itself. Next thing comes writing. People say introduction, body, conclusion. Believe me, I don't say that. Why? You say, why you are saying that? 150 word answer. Think about it. What is a conclusion? Do you know what is a conclusion? When a person do a PhD or his MPhil, he writes a conclusion of 10 pages or 5 pages of his thesis. Conclusion is what you have written. It should be comprehended in such a crisp manner that its crux has been given in that conclusion, or the way forward. Two things people tell about: either you write a conclusion or way forward. In 150 word answer, it is not always necessary to write a conclusion. Sometimes you can write, sometimes if you are properly answering the question, no need to write a conclusion. Very fine enough. Don't worry about it. It's just whether you are answering the question or not. If you are not answering a question properly, even the conclusion will not help you. This is the fact. Conclusion is, people are too much worried about the conclusion part. If you don't know conclusion, you write the way forward. Conclusion, in literal meaning, what the conclusion is, that should be the conclusion itself. Okay, so it means that whatever have you written in those 150 words, you give 30 words to introduction, 30 words to conclusion, 60 already gone, 90 words what you will write in an answer. Think about it. So the question will be properly structured. Don't worry too much about if a 10 marker question comes, what I should write about the introduction. You can write just a simple point about the definition, what has been asked. But remember, many people do this kind of mistake, that they write straightforward what has been asked in the question, same line in the introduction or the first line. Don't do this. Okay. What you need to do about that topic, like the women, you cannot write the definition of women. Obviously, if social empowerment comes in the question, you can write something about the social empowerment. But about the women, what kind of question has been asked, you can bring out some facts, some observation into the introduction part. And similarly, you will gradually know if there is some straightforward definition about that part, you can write about that one point. Now comes in the body part. How should the body be framed? Many people say you write either point wise or para wise, or it depends totally on you. I will not suggest you whether you write point wise or the paragraph wise. Why? It is your appetite. Every answer cannot be written in the same manner. So you also need to change. Like in a paper, we know there are 20 questions. Can you opt every time one approach? No, your approach should be changed. Things change, then only your marks will vary. If your monotonous kind of style will carry on, that will not help you. Okay, I have seen people, too many, they put in every question, they put diagrams, that will not help. Evaluator will get irritated. Why? Because Even a 10 marker question, you are writing two diagrams. What is the purpose of that? Where is the content going? So it is not about the objective answer, it is the storyline. Most of your syllabus is not objective. Most of the syllabus of your syllabus is subjective, especially paper 1. It is subjective. Paper 2, when it talks about the governance, when it talks about the basic structure or these things, it is subjective. It is not always objective. So you need to know that when such kind of paper is in your hand, you cannot be just okay diagrammatically. You have to write. You have to write a story. What is the story? Every time a story is written, it has a linkages. First paragraph should be connected with the second paragraph. If the break is there, if it is not interlinked, then the purpose is not fulfilled. So you should carefully write. Whenever you are structuring your answer, the answer should be such way that the proper flow is maintained. When you are talking about something in paragraph 1, the next paragraph whichever is coming, so that paragraph should always be linked. It should be the next step or the next process has been done. So the interlinkages, without interlinkages, the things will become difficult for you. Like if the question is very objective, then you can move forward with the point-wise approach. Like 2-3 things happen. Like if a 15 mark question comes to you, okay, it asks you 3 things. So what is the general practice? You write introduction, fine enough. You just move forward to the first thing asked. So you need to carefully look at the introduction part. That introduction should not be like this, that you have written the introduction and that is an isolated introduction. The next part which has been asked in the question should have a flow, that okay, after the introduction we are starting with something that has a relevance about. I have seen the answer copies, and even this time also many people will write in that way. Then I will point out how you do such kind of mistakes. So a flow will be maintained. Next, when you write a heading, okay, then obviously you need to write about some objective points, some facts, figures. Remember, whenever you are writing those facts or figures, you need to mention the source. Not always, but most of the time. Because without source, that is a generalized fact and it not establish the authority like who published this kind of report. So you should always write it, okay, like which report, Supreme Court, which verdict, or who says, WHO says, UN says, some concrete thing should be there, okay. It should not be that just your viewpoints are coming and you are explaining everything, okay. This should not be there. So you will write the objective point. Those objective points are fine if they are not interlinked with each other, but they are linked to the main heading, then it is enough. You know it. But whatever the 3 things have been asked, those should be somewhere in a paragraph. Once you answer those 1, 2, 3 points of the objective facts about something, then you should write about something. And then next to move to the next part. This should be general. Why? Because this will create a flow. आप भी जानते हैं ना, आपको स्टोरी अच्छी लगती है ना, कहानियां सुनते हो, बीच में एब्रप्टली कुछ हो जाता है क्या? बताता है ना कहानी वाला कि कहाँ मूव करेंगे, ठीक है ना, कि कोई पार्ट हुआ तो फ्लैशबैक में भी ले जाने के लिए कहानी चलती रहती है ना, एक फ्लो बना रहता है. तो आंसर में भी यही चीज है, आपका फ्लो टूटा तो गड़बड़ है. इसी को हम स्ट्रक्चरिंग, दिस इज व्हाट वी से स्ट्रक्चरिंग. व्हाट इज स्ट्रक्चरिंग? What I told you, when you look at the answer, when you look at the question, what should be in your mind? Which part of the syllabus is this? Is something current affairs related? Is there some Supreme Court verdict? Is there some report related to this? Are these things? Write down with the pencil immediately, because those things will go away from your mind when you start writing. And those things you need to make a flow, that okay, in this part I will write about this, in this part I will write about this. So this way you create a flow. And that flow will be maintained. Introduction, body, and later part go way forward, or I will say way forward is a much better way than the conclusion, because that just should be a paragraph. After the last paragraph, after the last point of the body, there will be a next paragraph suggesting something, if has been asked. If not asked, you can just write a way forward kind of thing. That's enough. So these are the basic pointers how you should actually you can start writing. There were doubts about the introduction. I told you how to do with the introduction. Write about the point wise or not point wise. I told you how to do. What we should write in the body, it is the content you have studied. The whole 1 year, 1.5 year, what comes in your mind. Without that content, mains answer writing is totally waste of the time. Okay. Next thing comes conclusion. I told you about that. Okay. Now comes the very important part. That is the presentation. What is presentation? I told you about the structuring. Structuring is nothing to maintain a flow. What has been asked in the question. Question, if you are able to comprehend the question, you will be able to write the question properly. Presentation part. Should I make a flow chart? Should I make a diagram? Should I make a map? Yes. If you are a geography person, if you are solving a geography question, GS1 question, it is a must. History, should I write? Why not? Can you not make a map of the... But everything, overdoing of these things will be hazardous for you. Overdoing what? I have seen the answers where the introduction is just in paragraph and rest of the thing is diagram. Flow chart. That doesn't work. Believe me, this is subjective answers. You have to write things. Not everything can go. Small diagrams you can always create. They give, and when you can give those kind of diagrams, that you have this much of a space and a paragraph cannot be written, you just make a box and make a small diagram reflecting 2-3 things, and that can easily be done. Always a diagram should be emboxed. Always make a box. Write about figure is about what kind of thing. These things you should consider always. Okay, the diagram should not be in the air. हवा में नहीं होना चाहिए कुछ भी कि किसी भी चीज को लेके. And diagram is not necessary always. If you have 20 questions, don't make it a habit that making diagrams everywhere. 7-8 questions, fine enough you make a diagram or the flow chart. But every question or have 20 questions, diagram, it is not a good practice. Many people say, yes, you can make a diagram in a 10 marker question, 1 diagram, in a 15 marker question, 2 diagram. So can we make in every 15 word answer? No. That is not a best practice. Okay. Choose 6-7 good which you think you can answer in very good way. Only in those questions you should make those diagrams proper way in a 20 word total paper. Okay, this comes with the practice in which kind of question you should make a diagram and which kind of question you should not. So these are the basic things. What is the question comprehension, what to write, how should be the presentation part, what should be the conclusion part, or what should be the content part. These are the basic things. Now how we should practice these things? Few people, previous year question, best repository, those who are preparing from their own, but evaluation is a must. Those who have gone through the mains practice only can tell you, and those who have multiple times gone through this practice can tell you in a much better way, and those who are from the academic background can give you much better answer regarding the marks, because the bad marks giving scheme you see at a lot of places gives you a fake idea that yes, you are doing well, but that is not the case. I have told you in the starting that how much marks you get in the UPSC exam. This is related to the typical Indian university case of thing. Okay, so don't be fooled about that fake marking scheme. We will always give you the very less marks. Okay, so few things these you should always keep in mind regarding while writing the mains answer kind of thing. Few people have doubt about the interlinking. I already told you. Just when you look at the question, then only can link them. Nah? Without practice, that thing will not come. When you look at the question, you have gone through the whole year of current affairs. You already read a lot about those things. Then only you can interlink. What is interlinking? Have you read your syllabus 2, 3 times, 4 times? By this time, आपको तो syllabus याद होना चाहिए ना अपना. जब सिलेबस याद है तो आपको कोई क्वेश्चन आता है डिजास्टर मैनेजमेंट से रिलेटेड, कैन यू नॉट लिंक इट विद द ज्योग्राफी? कैन यू नॉट लिंक इट विद द गवर्नेंस पार्ट? You can link it with the economic part. So those interlinkages happen with the practice. So these things you need to understand कि कैसे interlinking करनी है ना? और एक और बहुत बड़ी चीज है कि कुछ लोग पूछते हैं should we do daily mains answer writing thing? I will suggest those who are just preparing. There is a too much in this market. A lot of things are going on. People enter in the preparation phase, they join a mains test series. This point I want to clarify in a big way, because don't be fooled. When you enter in the phase, when you are in a training phase, if a soldier in a training phase, he was just primary training is going on and he have been picked and put in the war, what will happen? He will die. The same thing happens with you also. You came in the phase of preparation. You don't know about the content. You don't know about the whole process. And you just join a mains test series. What is a test series? One paper. Mostly test series are sub-sectional tests they will give you. Whole syllabus comes. What happens with you? You go. You have not completed your syllabus. Even if you have completed the syllabus, you don't know about the current affairs because you have not gone through the year-long current affairs on those things. What happened with you? Your morale will be down because you will not be able to complete on time. So, to keep that morale up, first you practice. Small, only those parts which you have done, not the whole papers. That's why you see the trend is changing, that the daily answer writing programs are coming and such kind of things are coming. Why they are necessary? But in the daily answer writing program is also there is one very big thing that you write from your own, get us evaluated. In a scheduled based thing, what happens? You know somebody is giving you question, that he will be maintaining his own quality. He will have a very thought out process which you might not have. So you pick from somewhere or you just write is not a good practice. You should be in a dedicated. That's why test series are popular. But test series have a lot. When you should go for the test series, when you have a set of practice, when you have written some answers, then go with the test series. Then you can attempt the full 20 length question, not in the first way. First, do your training properly, then go for the war. Not in the primary stage of training and go for the war. You will die. So your morale should always be up. To keep that morale up, you should keep practicing, then go for the final war. And remember, prelims is very important. Same as the mains answer writing practice, because all the efforts of clearing the prelims and the whole time frame which you have prepared for the mains will go in waste if you have not practiced the answer writing, because ultimately the main competition is where? The main competition is with the mains examination, and that examination will tell you whether you will cross the line or not. So remember, both exams are important. But those who are feeling that they are not prepared for prelims, go and prepare for that. And those well enough prepared, come with the avlokan and we will teach you, like already told you, how you should start, how you should do your first answer right. Then we will take a session tomorrow or day after tomorrow, in which we will take your doubts. When you have already written one or two answers, you practiced, then the doubts will come. What doubts will come in the first day? So those who have not joined, please join the program. And those who have already joined, we will give you the best support. And believe me, after 50 days, you will feel the improvement in your answer writing and you will feel confident. Thank you. All the best.